All right, this is no longer the beginner's guide. This is the player's guide. I'm going to give all the tips that I possibly can for early, mid, and late game, end game players. Let's hop right into it.
There is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Gravity here, and this is a DC Legends video. In this video, I'm going to give you my complete player's guide. I did a ultimate beginner's guide like in December, and then the following month, they changed everything. Things that had never changed before, red alerts and campaign. Well, I think they had changed red alerts before. They had added some tunes, but now they changed up like the heroic nodes and campaign, all that other stuff. So I'm having to go through and do my player's guide again. If you can't tell, my face is absolutely exhausted. Whenever I have to do these, it takes a lot out of me, like a lot. It's a beast. It's a beast doing all this stuff, mostly because I stress myself out because I don't want to like miss any information. I'm gonna give you guys everything that I can, all the stuff that I have. And to that point, I actually had you guys, I put up in the community poll, I put up a question, or I put up the request for questions if you had any for the player's guide. So what I'm going to do is first read those first, and then I'm going to go through like the plan things, and then if there's anything that relates back to the questions, because I only got 3 questions. If there's anything that relates back to the questions, then I'll try to make note of it there. So, Diego True, some tips on early game farming, farmable leaders, and useful team comps based on them. I really enjoy your work, man. Keep it up. I'm going to get into that. There's going to be, I've added a couple of new sections actually in this guide. I'm hoping, like the last guide was like an hour and a half. I hope this one I can get done in an hour. Maybe not so many anecdotal. I say that. It's going to be an hour and a half probably. You'll see. You know before me because you can check the timeline. Yeah, so I'm going to go through heroic node. So the tunes that are farmable in heroic node. I'm going to go through the tunes who are farmable in red alerts. And also something that I figured out thanks to DC Legends Toolkit. Awesome. I'm also going to give the more information on the void scanner. I had some stuff already, but the only thing I didn't know was the order of the tunes in the void scanner. But thanks to DC Legends Toolkit, awesome website, which I will display on this very soon. Check it out. I do now know which tunes come in which voice scanner days and blah, blah, blah. Anthony Piccolo. So I am not a beginner by any means, but I have not been able to figure out the use for revenge battles. When should you choose a revenge battle, and what are the reasons why you would choose to spend your energy on them versus a regular battle? Thanks for the great content. You're welcome. Thank you for the comment. And thank you for the keep up the good work. I don't know if I said thank you or not to Diego, but thank you for that as well. That stuff does really motivate me. All right, so revenge matches in Wraith, there's not really a point in my view. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. In Siege, I go through the entire calculation of doing that, but to me, Siege is the only place where doing the revenge matches is actually really worth it. Then Marcel Lopez. Just started the game. I would like to know more about the tunes that I should farm and the ones that I should avoid. Really, some tips about the arena, how matchmaking works, which pack should you buy. I really like your content. Subscribed yesterday. Awesome. Appreciate you. And it's funny. That's what this entire guide is about. Literally everything you asked about. I didn't even plan this. Everything you asked about is what I'm about to get into. So just stay tuned. All right, so now, first things first, what we're going to do is I'm going to shift over to the void scanner. And, well, frankly, let me wait. The first thing I'm going to do, which is going to make it more difficult for me in editing, is I'm going to show you, this is the void scanner, that I don't even need that anymore. So let's just go ahead and go to, and actually, one thing I need to do very quickly to be sure that everything goes smoothly is I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. All right, so now let's get into it. There was something in particular that I was looking for right here. Now I'm going to hide myself a little bit because I have this weird funky green screen thing going whenever I put up a white background. This is the DC Legends Toolkit. This is the website that I refer to a lot in terms of things that I need in terms of resources. A lot of the, so like characters, calendars, calculators, there's a lot of stuff on this website. And I'm going to be referring to it back and forth as I explain things. But this is the website. If you have any like questions, I go to this website a lot. So I'm going to go back and forth using this website, using some of the features in it, and showing you how I use those features in the website to actually plan what I'm going to do, you know, tomorrow, today, the day after, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come back and I'm going to make this thing go away. So, and this is actually a still shot of what I already have here. So if you, as you look, this thing that I have in terms of on the void scanner, there's John Stewart. John Stewart is not a tune that's really worth farming, and I'm going to go back to DC Legends Toolkit to show you like maybe how I can figure, or what I just, and the thing is I just learned this today when I was looking through stuff, and I'm upset with myself. So last Saturday I had 30 lanterns. Save your lanterns. You know why? Because there are going to be tunes in there that you're going to want to farm. Don't try to farm for every single one because not all of them are worth it. Like Green Lantern, John Stewart. This is not Ultraviolet. This is John Stewart, Green Lantern. So save up your lanterns for a specific setup or for specific frags. The specific setup is actually this setup you see right now. There are the 3 most rare level 3 gears in the game, not to mention blue rings, which are way scarce, way more scarce in the end game than the early game. In the early game, my advice has slightly been amended to when those blue rings, the green rings, that's when you use your lanterns, because through my free-to-play account, what I've learned is that you end up, like green rings end up being so scarce in the beginning. Now you're gonna have to make a shift eventually to start using green rings more than blue rings, but that's the advice I have for you at the moment. So when you see this setup, and let's say Saturday, for example, I wanted more blue rings so I could put them into a bin sewer. I saved up 30 lanterns, and I am allowed to be impatient. You know what I mean? Like I have all the tunes unlocked. I have them most of them, like 90% of them probably, to a level of where I need to do that calculation, to where they're 70-11. So I can wait on frags, and I was waiting on Wonder Girl frags, but I got impatient. I wanted to use my lanterns, get some more blue rings for a bin sewer, and that's exactly what I did. So I ended up with like 20 blue rings, 25 blue rings, 1,000 gems, some frags of a tune that I did not care about, and then a bunch of gear that I would like. So I saved my lanterns for this specific setup. So when you see the blue rings and these scarce gems, or these scarce gears here, the quantum field energy, the inert piece, and the chaos crystal shard, when you see those there and the blue rings, then that's when you will use your lanterns if you're not already trying to save them up to use them for a specific tune that's going to come in. And now what I'm going to do is go back to the DC Legends toolkit, browser, boom, and then hide myself because I don't know why it's doing that to me. All right, so now we're gonna go here, not to the resources, void scanner list. This is something I literally just saw. Can't believe this was here and I did not know it. So I'm gonna go to, well, first of all, let's go down the list. Batman, World's Greatest Detective, kind of worth it. I like him as a utility character. He's very, very good. Dr. Fate, don't bother. Superman, incredible, especially since his rework. Well, before the rework is but after rework, godlike, so yes. John Stewart, not so much. Owlman, hit chance ups. He can be a good utility tune. Also crit damage and crit chance ups. He does work well in raids with certain combinations, but very niche. Ravager, I have not leveled up. However, when I've seen her, she has been really good. So Ravager there. Spectre, of course, the god of PvP. You definitely want him. Man-Bat, I'm not really, I love Man-Bat. I do love using him. I'm not recommending that anybody chase him down. Captain Atom, no. Stripe, free to play only. Not free to play, sorry. Early game only. I have leveled him up in the early game and he's already kind of like meh to me. Mr. Miracle, nope. Jay Garrick, meh. If you like him, sure, but not really, no. Freddy Shazam, no. Mr. Freeze, I do like him. He's not a definitive yes, but I think he's really good. Same with Black Lightning. Same with Arsenal. Ocean Master, I have not leveled. General Zod, especially if you're dealing with can't miss or evasion up and hit chance down tunes, he's very good. Is he great? Not really. He's fallen off a little bit, but he's not bad. Donna Troy, definitely. Yes, yes, yes. Huge Donna Troy fan. Two-Face haven't really leveled up. From what I understand, he hits like a truck, but nobody really uses him. Atrocitus has had a lot more uses for me in the last like 2 weeks as I'm using Parallax, and I'm still trying to figure out the combination to make that work, but he's okay. Wonder Girl, that's who I was saving my lanterns for, and I just got impatient and just used them all for the Abensur blue rings. But of course you need her. Kid Flash, no. Silver Banshee, no. Batman Beyond, I love Batman Beyond, but no. Etrigan, good. Mid-game, early game, good. Clayface, same thing now. He used to be my beefy taunter for energy, and he's still good, but Parallax is better. He's not great. Power Girl, somebody brought it to my attention, is very true. Power Girl is very early mid-game right now. She's not really in-game. Like, you can use her in the in-game, but you have to try to make it work, and by that point, you have better options. So, Penguin, no. Aquaman, Aquamomoa, no. Enchantress, yes, definitely. One of the best leads in the game. Lobo, very underrated, but incredible taunter, especially in the mid-game. Definitely. Blue Beetle, love yourself more than that. Do not go after Blue Beetle. Wonder Woman, Defender of Justice, good early mid-game, not at all useful in the end game. Captain Cole can be used in the end game. I like him. His style is not really conducive to my style, but he's good. He's good. Poison Ivy, very good early mid-game. End game, you can make it work, but why would you? You have better options. Siren, awesome on bleed comps and evasion comps, but not the best again, so that's not a quasi-no. Robin, no. Supergirl, definitely 100%. Bane, only early to mid game. Batman, only early game. He's already fallen off my list, and I have him L1. Cheetah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Chemo, yes. Not a definitive, but yes. Cyborg, no. Deadshot, hired gun, yes-ish. He's very good early mid game. Flash can be used in the end game and better than most. He's good, but not necessarily like you gotta go for him. Green Arrow, Emerald Knight, much of the same thing. Hal Jordan, diamond level. He's elite in this game, so definitely. Harley Quinn, Mad Jester. I'm gonna say no just because I hate her. I like her. I don't like the tune in this game. But yeah, she's kind of worth it. She's a pretty good taunter, but I wouldn't put my lanterns into it just because she's not reliable enough with those evasion ups, especially like early on in the game. Huntress, heavily underrated. She's incredible. Absolutely love her. Lex, survival suit. He's on the level above Green Lantern. Hal Jordan, he's incredible in the game. Zatanna, don't waste your time. Batman the Dark Knight, very, 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 very niche. Like literally for 2 situations. So no. Doomsday can be good in the mid game, but not incredible. So I'm gonna lean towards no. Black Adam is very good for campaign farming or farming like gears and stuff if you don't want to use Speed Force. So ish, yeah, but Black Flash does it better. Hawk Girl, I think still can be useful because of the stuns on the A1, so good, not great. So I'm gonna lean towards not really going after her. Same thing with Lex Luthor Assault War Suit. Like they're good early mid game, but they're just not that great. Shazam, I'm lean towards no on that. Black Canary is more towards no than yes. Joker, definite no. Deadshot, Suicide Squad, meh at best. So we're leaning more towards no. Mara is leaning towards yes. Leaning towards closer towards yes. Arcus is a definitive yes. Definitely a yes. Green Arrow, Castaway, I'm partial. I'm biased. Not as end-game awesome as it used to be, but I'm leaning heavily towards yes. Firestorm is a definitive no. Raven is a definitive no. Mirror Master, definitive no. Joker Damaged Goods, definitive no. Solomon Grundy, leaning heavily towards yes. Medfill, I don't know. I'm leaving him in the middle. I've heard mixed reviews. Harley Quinn, quite vexing. Underrated, but I'm leaning heavily towards no. Wonder Woman POT, right in the middle. Like leaning slightly towards yes if you're early to mid game. You can make her work in the end game, but she's not exactly end game viable. Swamp Thing, mid game, early game specialist. Deathstroke, very good with campaign, but one of those early to mid game PvE specialist. Jessica Cruz, good for PvP early to mid game, not very useful in the end game because she benefits from allies dying. Aquaman is absolutely necessary. He's on the level of Hal Jordan, basically, because you need him to deal with Black Flash. Catwoman, I would say very underrated, kind of some niche situations, but she's underutilized. I think she'd be used more. Same thing with Star Sapphire. Bizarro, slightly towards yes. He's a good taunter, slightly towards yes. Sinestro White Lantern is more definitive yes, because especially what you can do with him and his revive in the mid game is incredible. And then Wonder Woman, Coda, yes, definitive yes. So those are the tunes in the Void Scanner reviewed. What I think of them, wow. And actually, one thing I did want to do, let's go back one more time. I apologize, guys, because what I'm about to do is I'm about to put in Jon Stewart and see how long it was before I would have reached Wonder Girl, and how much do you want to bet it would have been like the next day, and I just have to be upset with myself for using those 30 lanterns I saved too early. Where are you? Oh, did you do Jon Stewart Green Lantern? Is that how they do it? Where you at, bruh? Where you at, bruh? Jon Stewart. So, Jon Stewart up next. Owlman. Oh, Spectre's on April 22nd, so I'll have a few lanterns by that point. And then Wonder Girl doesn't show up until May 7th, so I got time to save lanterns. This is the stuff that I do like to do, is go through these calendars that are on the DC Legends Toolkit and then plan accordingly. So May 7th, I need to make a note. I might even legit like make a note on a piece of paper as I get my pen out. May 7th. Now, let me go ahead and get back to it. So Void Scanner there. See, that already went like 15 minutes. So list of heroes in the Void Scanner. Green more scarce in the beginning. Go for farmable go for farmable tunes earlier in the game, and then later in the game go for the tunes that you don't have. Farmable tunes, you're going for them earlier or early in the game. When I say farmable, the tunes that you will see in the Void Scanner that are also available in heroic nodes or available in red alerts. Go for those more so in the Void Scanner, because you get more frags. You can get them up to L1, L2, L3 quicker. But then once you're mid-game, late mid-game, end-game, then you're going to want to lean more towards trying to unlock the rest of your tunes. So then going towards the frags of tunes that you don't have. All right, so that is that. And now we will go into PvP. Oh, PvP has a lot. PvP has a lot. So right now it's the Ultraviolet Lantern Jon Stewart Siege. We have Wraith, and I think in that Wraith, I literally looked it up twice already today and still don't remember who it was. Who was it? Oh yeah, Parallax. I got Parallax L4 right now. Then we have the Gem Blitz. Oh, the Gem Blitz. I think I just realized something. Do they only have one Gem Blitz this month? Have they reduced the number of gems we're going to get this month? So first they put the... okay, I'm not going to go into this in the beginner's guide, in this player's guide, because I'm not sure what it is that's happening. So I'm just not going to say anything about it at first. Maybe this is like just a weird way that the month's days worked out. I don't know. So anyway, Hero Showdown and Blitz. Now, Hero Showdown and Blitz are less about strategy and more about depth of roster. Meaning, if you have a deep roster, then that's when strategy comes into play. However, when you're early game, then and mid game, then you just kind of have to build the best team you have and then go at it. Because outside of having all of your tunes unlocked and most of them leveled up highly, or leveled up high, as I do myself, then you're not going to really be able to compete very much in the Showdown or the Gem Blitzes. So if you're early game, don't worry about it. Just build a team with the best synergies that you possibly can in the Showdown and in Gem Blitz, and then go at it. Showdown does have bonus tunes, but Showdown is basically like a condensed version of Wraith that happens over 3 days, and outside of the bonus tunes. And here's the thing, and I talk about balance. So I'll go into this real quick. You need to figure out, and that's part of the reason why I went into this Wraith thing. You need to figure out what's more important to you at the beginning of a Showdown or a Wraith, because that's going to determine how you treat your board. So for example, on my free-to-play account, This one is going to give me parallax. If I get 195 frags of parallax, that's awesome, but I'm already using a Bensor as my taunter. I'll get 115 minimum just by playing well in my free-to-play account. What I really want right now is Arcus, that energy damage dealer, single shot. I think that's what I would want more. So for my free-to-play account, if my main focus is more on the board clear rewards, the board clear frags, then I don't give a damn about my ranking before. I do everything I possibly can to try to clear. Now, some boards you're just not going to be able to clear because of what you're running into and how shallow your roster is. I get it. But my main focus, no matter how much energy, if I can figure out how to get through it, then I get through it so I can get those frags. Now, by that same token, let's switch roles. Let's say that I want Parallax. Parallax is the one that I'm going after. So then, if I am at these last two teams on my board that I can't get by, then I'm just going to clear the board and move on to the next one and just accept that loss. The reason being is that those points that I'm wasting and losing while, doing 10 battles to try to get past one team makes me lower in the ranking, the league rewards themselves. And so then I'll get less frags of Parallax at the end of the week or the end of the Showdown, however, whichever one you're talking about. But this is a strategy that really applies to Showdown and to Wraith. Decide which you hold more valuable, the frags from the end of the event or the frags from the board clear, and then adjust your strategy accordingly. So there's that. And here's the other thing too, for this guide, and I'm already like 20 minutes into it saying this, please forgive, there's so much stuff that I had to write down, so when I have to like peek down and look real quick, please forgive me on that one. I'm trying to like be sure that I don't miss anything. So balance clear. Yep, lose points and energy. So yeah, opportunity cost is basically what I'm talking about. Now, going back to Wraith, or continuing on in Wraith. Now, this is just a strictly Wraith topic, not a Showdown or Blitz topic. This is the topic of the sweet spot, which is gears is level 60, gear 9.5. This is all evidenced by the guys over at WRL broadcast. 2 years ago plus now, they created another account where they just leveled up all of the tunes to, well, all the tunes. They leveled up to 60, gear 9.5. 9.5 gear is when you, let's go back to one of the heroes and let's pick a physical damage hero. Nope, because I can't look at the thing. I did that. Oh no, I can still show you. So, gear 9.5 is when you take the base stat, not the multiplier. The base stat here is strength, STR, 380. The multiplier is the physical damage that you have there. So that's the P damage. So yeah, so you see here P damage, right? So let's keep going down. This has none of those. This has none of those. And this has strength. So if I wanted to go gear 60 or level 60 gear 9.5, I would take the strength here from Inconspicuous Glasses, which, why did that ever work? The Fortress of Solitude key, there's a strength there. And then the Kryptonian Battle Armor. Those are the three. And go ahead and look. The STRs, what I'm looking for the base stat to take them up 9.5. And then that'll be gear level 60, gear 9.5. Okay, for special damage tunes, that base stat is intelligence multipliers S damage. Boom. So at 9.5, why does that work? Well, when we go back here to my board, as you can see, and I'm already starting to notice this on my free-to-play account actually. As you can see, a lot of the battles I have are for top 9, like tops 9 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6.6 points. Now, if I was gear, the reason for that is that the algorithm uses the power level of your top, and I still haven't been able to confirm this, but it's like the top 8, 12, or 16 tunes that you have in the game. Let's just say 12 just to be on the safe side, right? It takes the power level of your top 12 tunes, averages it, or not averages it, but then creates a team out of it, your highest level team, your power level, and then that's how it determines which PvP opponents you'll have. I explained that so poorly, so one more time. It takes your top 12 tunes And based on the power levels of those top 12 tunes, that is how it determines your Red Alerts opponents and your PvP opponents. Now, because I'm so high up in the game, which, you know, I sound like, oh, I'm so high up in the game. No, but because I'm towards the end game, and there are going to be fewer people in the end game than in the early game, that's just how things happen. Some of you watching this are going to fall off from playing the game in a month, 2 months, 3 months, hell, tomorrow maybe. So because of that, there's just going to be fewer players at the end game level than there are going to be at the early game level. So that means that if you're in the middle, you have more opponents with higher power levels above you in this hierarchy than I do, because I am closer to the end, or I am at the end game, and you're in the mid game. So therefore, if I face somebody at my power level, I'll get 6 points off of it. But if you face somebody at my power level, you might get 20 points for it. So that's how that works. And that is why gear 69.5 is like that sweet spot, because you're strong enough to basically cope with anything you're going to face. So you can take out those 20-point teams and get up into top 100 much easier than I could. Now, I've given this story before, and let me go see the fruits of my labor to kind of cheer me up. Or actually, I'll give you the negative side of the story first. I think they're physical heroes, so it's okay. I tried, this is the positive side, I tried to do top 100 twice. One time I failed, one time I succeeded. The time that I failed was, or no, the time I succeeded was Red Hood. It cost me between 4.5 to 5,000 gems and grinding all damn day for a week. Like, I probably did something like, I want to say I spent around 1,000 gems a day, a little bit under, but thereabouts, which means that I was getting myself 50 plus PvP energy on top of like the 20 to 25 that you get. So I was doing something like 70 to 75 battles a day, trying to stay in top 100 at level 70-11, right? I succeeded ultimately and ended up with that 310 frags from the league rewards for Red Hood. And I was able, I think that one was just the one to get me to take him L5. That wasn't even an RB1 situation. Then there's Azrael. I'm not 100% sure it was, but I know there was a failure, and I think somewhere deep down inside of me, it's a repressed memory. I don't want to remember the one who cost me 4.5 to 5,000 gems because I pursued him and I missed top 100. I always tell myself it was only about 1 or 2. Who knows? It might have been about 10, 20, or 30. However, I still missed it, and so the fall off was from 310 gems to 195 gems, and I wasted battling 75 battles a freaking day and 5,000 gems to get the same thing I would have gotten if I had not done any of that effort at all. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you a little chart that I set up just to show how much of a nerd I is. All right, so if you look up at the top, right, you'll see PvP top 100, PvP top 1500, large pack, medium pack, small pack. Ignore large pack, medium pack, small pack. You have 310 frags that you get from spending 5,000 gems. I'm gonna just take the top end of that. That means there's a 16 to 1 gem, frag to gem ratio. That's an incredible ratio. That's very, 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 very good. Typically, that is supposed to be, and I even saw it, it's supposed to be WB, and I saw this in the Easter event, actually, and I did the math real quick, and it made sense. WB thinks a good frag ratio is 50 gems to 1 frag. That's basically what they're offering. I did the calculations on the larger pack, medium pack, and small pack. I noticed that too, but I thought that wasn't like a hard, fast rule. But then when I saw that Easter egg thing that they did, which, good shout. They've done a lot of cool things lately. The Easter egg thing they did, the April Fool's thing that they did, that was all real cool stuff. Like, big props to them for that. But it seems like they think 50 is fair, right? Now, we, as in the player base, we're shooting for 20 to 30. So 25 is a sweet spot there. Now, as you see, 310, 5K, that means a 60 to 1 gem to frag ratio. Just by comparison, if I used 4.5 gems to get 90 frags from the small pack, I would have gotten 90 frags, which is enough to do nothing depending on where you are in the game, and it's a 50 to 1 gem frag ratio, right? So what makes more sense, to spend the 5,000 gems to get the 310 or to spend the 4.5K to get the 90? Now, here's the other problem. There's no guarantee that I'm going to get 310 frags. That's the problem. So when I do this, spend 5K, and then still only get 195 frags because I got bumped out of top 100 last minute. And then what does that do for me? It's a 25 to 1 gem frag ratio, which still seems like it's so much better than the 90, the one that has a 50 to 1. However, the problem is that would have been a, 195 frags to 0 gems ratio if I hadn't spent all those gems and all that time, pursuing something that just did not happen. So, that's my story. Me being upset about the gym, like trying to make it a top 100, being a 70-11 player, and just falling short. Part of what I'm thinking right now, I'm in the middle of my free-to-play, season 1 of it, which, sneak tip, if you guys are watching this, like, I think I have like 4 more weeks of this free-to-play account that I'm done with it, and I'll just move on. But I'm kind of thinking about leaving it that at like level 50 gear 9, because I'm wondering if I can get into the top 100 at that level. I'm curious about it. Anyway, so as we get back into the game, so sweet spot, level 60, 9.5, Showdown, Wraith, Blitz, power levels, cool. Now we will go into Siege. We will go into Siege. Where we at? Now, the thing with Siege is you have got to be conservative. Very, very, very conservative. Hey guys, sorry. Had a massive brain fart. I could not do math for a second there. So, the reason why you want to be ultra conservative in Siege is because losing your first tune costs you 5 points. This is a month-long event where damn near every point counts. You have bonus tunes and all that jazz. So you have to be ultra conservative. So for example, here, I'm facing up against World's Greatest Detective, Parallax, Alan Scott, and Spectre. So clearly this person ran into a situation where they could use all 4 bonus tunes and be okay. Now, I'm going to do this like right now live. So if I screw up, and here's the thing. You have to be conservative. So I could put this team in right now, like this, and hope for the best. Like, let's see, maybe I can 3-star it. I don't think there's a chance of me doing that, especially with Spectre sitting over there. And Alan Scott, quite frankly. Alan Scott can crack skulls. So can Spectre, obviously. So then what am I looking for here? What do I want to do? I want to be sure to take out Spectre as soon as possible. Hopefully Alan Scott as well. Now, what I could do is the ultra conservative. Let me go back up here to my team 4, preset 4, which I have Martian Manhunter and Dr. Poison there to basically wipe out. You have Talon there to remove buff immunities if necessary. And then Aquaman, I change that 4th spot depending on if I'm running into a Black Flash or whoever. Sometimes that's Terra, sometimes that's Terra for Harley Quinn, sometimes that's that's Spectre, sometimes that's Aquaman for Black Flash, etc., etc. So, now what I could do is just take a completely conservative approach, use them, wipe this team out, right? Now, I have Dr. Poison. Dr. Poison is going to take care of Alan Scott and Spectre. Hopefully Alan Scott as well, but definitely Spectre. That's the main guy I'm worried about. Then Martian Manhunter is there to give that turn meter up so that we do go first. Now, Talon is not necessary because we don't have any debuff immunities up in my view. Like, I can still use him to spread bleeds. However, seeing as how I'm trying to add some bonus tunes in, I'm going to take him out. Also, Aquaman is not necessary because we do not have a Black Flash over there. So it looks like we'll be able to do a good fair amount of damage with having these 2, and I could wipe out those 2 Mystics. Next up is Alan Scott. I could use him as a damage dealer against Parallax, who he's probably not going to fall to Dr. Poison, but he does crit with the shield, so I can use him. And now, should I get an energy tune to take care of Batman, World's Greatest Detective, or should I just stick with maybe having a Parallax, or maybe having a Grundy, or having some other tune? Maybe I should drop Spectre in there to be like ultra conservative, to be sure that we can take care of Parallax. Now, this is a little bit more risk than I should advise you guys to take. So actually, you know what? So then I won't do it. What I will do is I'll put in Booster, which may be just like the sign of my doom. Booster isn't exactly tanky. And if Parallax gets a chance to go, at least Martian Manhunter hides himself. So I'm going to put Grundy in there as the bonus tune. I got a tanky Taunter who can take some damage if necessary. If Spectre, by some odd chance, which has been happening to me lately, does not fall, then I should still be okay. So now, ultra conservative approach because I need all of my tunes to survive. Now, when it comes to revenge matches, and so when it comes to revenge matches, as I said earlier, this is where you want to do your revenge matches. I can't believe Dr. Poison's faster than Alan Scott and Grundy. That's funny. All right, so let's see what she does with it. See, like lately Spectre has not been falling, but the bleeds took care of him. That's awesome. All right, so now we will go ahead and actually, I'm going to go ahead and hit Parallax with the stun to kind of slow him down a bit. We had that awareness on Alan Scott, so I wasn't too worried. Bleeds take out World's Greatest Detective, and these bleeds should take out Parallax. Boom. Easy. We got all of our points, 3-starred, plus the 4 from the bonus. We're good to go. Playing it conservative. Now, when it comes to the revenge matches, as you notice there, I got 4 points plus the 12. That equals 16. If I put all 4 bonus tunes in there, that would be the 20. Now, when I go to the battle log, you need to have at least 2 bonus tunes for the math to work out on this. If I have 2 bonus tunes and each revenge match gives me 2 trophies, then that means I get 6 points. That 6 points, if I use 6 energy, or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's 6 points. If I use, this is the part that gets me. The 6 points that I would get from using those 2 bonus tunes, and then I'm using 6 energy, multiply that all by 3, is 18, if that makes sense. I'm going to do 3 battles with at least 2 bonus tunes. So that means I'm going to do 3 revenge battles with at least 2 bonus tunes, 18 points. Explain that clearly. So I'm using 6 siege energy. I'm going to 3 revenge matches. I have at least 2 bonus tunes. Plus out about revenge matches is that not everybody has to survive and you'll still get all the points. And because of those 3 matches and those at least 6 points, I will have 18 points in total at the end. By comparison, when I use that 5 energy, just base level, that's going to be 5 energy is going to get me 12 points without bonus tunes there, right? So that's 12 points. And then if you want to multiply that up or if you want to do the math on it, go ahead, check for it. But that 1 extra energy, if I'm adding another 20% on top of that. So if I'm adding 2.4 on top of the 12, let's round up to 15. So 6 energy would round me up to 15, would round me up to 16, not 14.4. 6 energy on revenge matches with at least 2 bonus tunes gets me up to 18. I hope that math makes sense, but that's what you need to do. Be ultra conservative on the opponent side, not the battle log side, on the opponent side. Then on the battle log side, when you're doing the revenge matches, you can be a bit more risky. However, be sure you win the match. Boom. All right, so I hope I explained that well enough. I got kind of tongue-tied trying to explain like the bonus tunes thing. Like that's sorry. I apologize. I hope that came out clear. All right, so now as I go through the PvP, Siege, show comparison in Siege, just did that. Show direct example, just did that. Revenge matches, did that. All right, so we're good to go there. Gear 69.5, I just went over that with you. So now we're getting into red alerts. Whoo, boy. Where's my water? My San Pellegrino. Get my San Pellegrino. I shouldn't be doing, if I'm doing a product placement, they do not pay me to drink their water. I wouldn't mind it though. Or if any of you guys want to give me a sponsorship for your water, go for it. I feel like I'm running a marathon. Oh, too old for this. All right. Now we're going to go into red alerts. Oh no. Here's a tip, guys. You see my blue energy? Never let that happen. Today's a Tuesday, so I'm not so bugged out about it because I don't have to contribute anything to my alliance from my blue energy. I think I have a Bensor already. I think I did his notes today already, or maybe I didn't. We'll see in a second. So what you don't do is you never leave the blue energy like that. So I'm going to go ahead, go to his events real quick. Did I already clear all this stuff? Nope, still got 2 left. Clear that, boom, get them frags. Clear that, boom, get those frags. He is going to be L4, and I think that's his sweet spot, actually. All right, so I still have some blue energy left, but hopefully I'll be done with this video by the time that's about to be refilled. Now we're going into red alerts, which I have not done today. So now red alerts, now that I've done my free-to-play account, it's even more important for beginners because the tunes in red alerts are beastly. They're awesome now, or there's some awesome in there. There was awesome ones in the other ones too. I'm being dramatic. But after doing a free-to-play account, and I was able to complete red alerts within the week. Like, it was very fast. I know that some people said it took them a long time to be able to consistently complete red alerts, and I might have been fortunate in joining with my free-to-play account when Jesse Quick was available and Lex, because good God, they are the machine that makes my red alerts team goes, even to this point now. Like, I'm 2 months into that free-to-play account, and those are the two that still makes it go when I have a difficult situation. Even though Jesse's power level is way down, I can still use her, and she still like helps me get past a lot of stuff. Now, when it comes to red alerts, that's what I mean by it being more important for beginners, because now if you can get to the point of being able to complete red alerts consistently within a week or two, this is where you're going to farm those frags. I got 5 frags of Jake Garrick right now. Good tune. I have 12 frags of Vixen right now, who I think is actually pretty good. Is she great? No, but I think, especially early game and mid game, she does so many different things that you can put her in as a 4th slot for the comp, and she can actually help your comp be better because she doesn't do anything great, but she does a lot of things well. And then Gorilla Grodd, like, I'm literally going to reset this lineup on my free-to-play account because Gorilla Grodd is absolutely awesome, especially in Nightmare Campaign. And then I want the Vixen, like I said before, so I'm going to reset that. Yeah. That's what's going to happen later on today when I get done with this video. So it's very, 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 very important in the very beginning for beginners to try to complete red alerts. I would say even more so than Heroic Campaign, because you're going to be farming so many of these tunes here, and that's going to help you get past Heroic Campaign later. Now, on top of all of it, the way that I go about building my team, and maybe I should have gone into my free-to-play account to show this, but I can do that. I can do it here. Basically, like, the way my free-to-play account has been working is that I have Lex. My Lex is L1. I took his his A4P1, which gives allies turn meter whenever they buff, as well as the healing and all the other stuff. I use Lex in the very beginning because I want to give those overheals. Now, if I wanted to, I'm not going to do this now. Maybe I'll do that for the next strategy. You could also do shield. But I'm doing this overheal because I want to overheal my characters. I'm going to use Jesse Quick too. I'll use Jesse Quick here as well, just to kind of like keep it. So there's Jesse Quick. Jesse Quick's going to go before all of them. She buffs on every turn, which means that we're going to overheal. I want all that overheal, and I'm going to use that overheal later on. I'll explain to you why. Now, who else do I have on my team? Punchline. I do have Punchline on that team. She's L3 on my free-to-play account. And then who would I normally put in? Eclipso probably to distract, but then we have physical tunes there, so no. A Ben Sewer. A Ben Sewer is one that I've been using. I've been reluctant to relent, but I think I might have been wrong at a Ben Sewer. Is he frustrating and difficult? Yes, but he may not be trash. All right, so this is a typical team that I would build on my free-to-play account right now. Yours may be different, but the main goal here is, and I'll just show you, the main goal here is I'm going to overheal these tunes because this team is a team that I'm pretty, maybe not, let me not get arrogant, but let's just say, this team is a team that I know that I can beat, right? Oh, wow, especially since Dove's power level is so low. What just happened there? You see that I'm already overhealing. I would usually lead off with the A1 from Punchline because she gives herself mins. That gives us more overheal. Then I would put, depending on who's left, and I'll do it to Punchline this time, I would put the taunt on Punchline or whoever, just so that there's a taunt there, and then Lex will ramp. Actually, what I end up doing is I'll actually do, a lot of times I won't have to do any moves, but sometimes I'll do like 1 or 2 moves and then just hit auto and let it run. So then I've built up the overheal for these tunes, and then what I'll do in the very next match is, let's see, this is a cupcake team, isn't it? But let's go here. What I would do in the very next match is remove like 2 of these tunes. and then put in, let's take these two out. Let's put Eclipso in, right? And then I have Talia on that other count as well. Put Talia and Eclipso in. Put them in against a team that I know I can beat, and then get their overheal up. So that way, when it gets harder in the as you go on further and further, your tunes have more health, and so they're harder to kill. Same token for if you want to do it with shield. Now I gotta be completely transparent here. I've never used the technique of shields before, not with any intention. Do I get them because they have shields? Yeah, but I've never like done it intentionally. Like I'm gonna go into this with the idea of adding a bunch of shields. So forgive me as I haphazardly build this team because I just had the idea now. I'm gonna go ahead and put in Alan Scott because he does give himself shields. I'm gonna go ahead and put in Tara because she does give shields as well, if I'm not mistaken. If not, the agility ups will keep us tanky. And then, so we have two mystics there, which is a problem seeing as how we do have two reds, one of whom can hit pretty hard, the other special damage. So I'm tempted to put in a taunter, maybe Parallax. Parallax is the one I've been using lately. Let's go and put Parallax in because a lot of you guys are going to get him pretty soon now anyway. So let's go and put Parallax in. I don't have to worry about any debuff immunity. Only thing I'm really worried about is Chemo's debuffs. All right, so let's go in. And now the same goal is with this one. I'm just trying to build up shield, build up shield, build up shield. And then when the shield is built up, what Saint Walker does actually is whenever an ally gets their turn or their turn comes around, they are granted, I think it's 20% shield, 25% shield whenever the turn comes around, which makes him great to run with Alan Scott, who crits when he's under shield. But in this scenario, and the one thing I like about Overheal more is that if you run into anybody that ignores shield, you have a problem. But hey, if you don't have anybody that can run with Lex very well, then maybe you got to run shield and use Green Lantern Hal Jordan, and that will be your first L1 tune, not Lex. Lex was my first one, but I had the option. I had to set up with Jesse Quick there. But if you're starting out right now and you have Alan Scott and Green Lantern, and those are your first tunes coming out, then what you need to focus on is shield. Just that simple. So we're pretty much shielded up very well. About the same as with the Overheal, except for I don't like that health bar on Saint Walker being that low, but it is what it is. So now you see how build with shield, build with Overheal. Ugh, that word doesn't even make sense to me anymore. Also, as I mentioned with the algorithm before, in the PvP section, top 12 tunes, 4 for each affinity. That's what I did for my free-to-play account. Go check that series out if you want a little bit more details on it. But your 12 tunes that you're going to work on, pick 4 for each affinity, then level them up together. Try to keep them within 500 of each other in terms of power level. The actual level itself, the 51, the 50, the 49, don't worry about that. Look at the power level, 3,000, 2,500, 3,500. Try to keep them all within a certain range, because the algorithm, like I said before, based on those top 12 tunes, it will adjust, and red alerts will become impossible. One time I haphazardly took somebody 70-11 or something in the very, very beginning of the game, and then I went from beating red alerts every day easily to where it was boring to I could not get past like the second or third threat. I was like, what in the hell is going on? Problem is that, yeah, you level 1 up and the others stay at level 50 gear 9, and this was up at level 70. Oh, great, he's super strong. What happens when he dies? What happens when the rest of your team dies and he survives, and now he has to solo the next 6 threats? Not gonna happen. So, heads up, be careful of the power level of your top 12 tunes. Now, going down the list, even more important for beginners, shield or overheal, algorithm. Yeah, the tunes are different now. So what I will do is I will go back to the, why is my green screen doing that to me? I don't like it. So I'm going to go back to the DC Legends Toolkit. Hooray, hooray for that. And we're going to go to the calendar. I've used this calendar so much for my free-to-play account because this is what determines when I'm going to use my gems. Now, resetting your red alerts, the first reset is 300. The second reset is 600. Now, I'm going to explain to you the breakdowns for those gem to frag ratios in a minute. But here you'll see on DC Legends Toolkit, For example, I have already, if you guys watch my free-to-play account videos, you saw that I already made the determination that I was going to get Superboy's frags on that day, which I was mildly disappointed because I missed it, the math, and so I'm 2 frags shy of taking him L1, but that's fine. As I see on April 21st, I will have the opportunity to just get 5 of his frags, be able to take him L1. Now, the next step in that whole thing that I was doing was April 20th, Eclipso. I need to refresh this twice in order to take Eclipso level L1, which is going to be great for me. So I'm going to hold on to those gems because, I only have to reset it once. Sorry. I only have to reset it once. So I'm going to hold on to 300 gems so I can be sure to reset red alerts so I can farm that twice and get 50 Eclipso frags. Lex Assault Warsuit. Also a pretty good tune. Red Robin, an awesome tune. So I'm going to be very happy with resetting on that day. Today I'm going to be happy because Jake Garrick, maybe not so much, but Vixen I do want, Gorilla Grodd I do want. On April 21st, all I want is Superboy. I don't care about Katana or Beast Boy right now. I'm not even looking at them, not even remotely right now. And so on and so forth. Excuse me. So you can see that having this calendar to plan around how you're going to use your gems could be vitally important. So now let's go down here. And can I actually show up here? Nope. Disappear. Nope. Still doing that funky hair stuff. All right. Anyway, so now this is going to go into the gem to frag ratio. So all three, when you have all 3 threats, okay? So you have 42 frags there. If they're all 3 threats are the same, and I got to be honest, I haven't seen that happen in a very long time, so it may not be happening anymore. If you have 2 threats, 37 frags. If you threat 8 and threat 12, or 2 threats from threat 4 and threat 8, means you get 17 frags. Now, at first, when I did this guide last time before I had the free-to-play account, I was thinking about this in terms of frags of the tunes that you want, like just one tune, if it was all Superboy. However, I'm looking at right now a situation today where I'm going to get 37 frags of tunes that I just want. It doesn't have to be the same tune. I want those 37 frags. I want the Vixen frags and I want the Gorilla Grodd frags, right? I think that's what it was. It was Gorilla Grodd, right? Yep, I want the Vixen and Gorilla Grodd, and I'm going to reset it because then I'll be able to level up Vixen, Gorilla Grodd. I'm not working on him yet, but I'm very happy to collect his frags because he's a beast. So now if we go to the reset cost 300, 600, 900. That's per like each time you try to reset it. Total costs are 300, 900, and 1800. However, cost if completed. That means when you finish it, you get gems from node 3, 7, and 11. So that means that the actual cost at the end of the day, if you reset it once, is 180. If you reset it twice, 660. If you reset it a third time, 1440. So the gem to frag ratio is stupid. Absolutely stupid. You're talking about for the 42 frags, it's a 4.2 frags to gem or gems to frag ratio. If you reset it once and you get 42 frags of what you want. If it's only 37, which is what I'm going to do today, 4.9 to 1 gems to frag ratio. And even with 17, it's a 10.5. And then you can go on down the chart and see how it goes, like how it progresses itself. I mean, how you can even pause it, screenshot it, whatever you want. But yeah, that's the math and the evaluation that I do so that I know it's a good deal. Now, if you go down to the bottom, you still will see like 42 frags at 1400. That's a 34.2 gem to frag ratio. I said try to stick between 20 and 30, which is the best. Is really good. However, 34 is still beating out the competition of the, let's say, large pack, which if you go up a little bit and you see in the PvP rank shop versus shop packs ratio, you'll see 44 to 1 is the best deal they have for the large pack that costs 11,000 gems. So if I'm going for the 42 frags here and have a 34.2 to 1 gem to frag ratio, that still beats out the large pack's efficiency, its value, right? So there's that. And now also going back to, let's go back to this. So I'm going to make sure I have everything I wanted to say, and then I'm going to go through the tunes in the red alerts pool. So complete red alerts shouldn't count because all right, good. So now I'm going to go ahead and go right on back to the, I think this is like, honestly, this feels like a gigantic infomercial for DC Legends Toolkit. All right, so the tunes that are in red alerts. In terms of farming, Beast Boy, he's a poor man's Castaway Green Arrow. Not bad, but not great, not chasing. Black Manta, if you're having problems dealing with Barter, he turns mins into bleeds. I really like Black Manta, but is he very useful from an in-game perspective? No. Black Mask, I'm seeing him a lot lately. Apparently, a lot of people like him. I'm just not feeling him. He's okay. He's good, but not great in my view. Booster Gold, I was going to use him for my free-to-play account, and I'm starting to regret that I put resources into him. He seems to be good, and maybe he's just, I need to just like keep leveling him up, but it's like he can't one-shot Spectre early game, so that's a plus. Eclipso, yes. Enchantress, yes. Gorilla Grodd, yes. Jay Garrick, more yes than no. Katana, more yes than no in the mid game. For Katana. Lex Luthor, more mid game. Mirror Master, nope. Mr. Freeze, yes, but a yes for me. I would say heavily towards yes, but a definite yes for me. Ra's al Ghul, definite yes for me. However, I see a lot of people who would say no. Red Robin, yes, 100% yes. Stripe, yes for mid-game, early to mid-game. He's okay. He's right in that level of Booster Gold to me. Scarecrow, man, leaning towards no, albeit I do love evasion teams and hit chance down teams, so that's cheating. But to be fair, I took him 70-11. I haven't used him in like a year plus. Not really. Silver Banshee, nope. Steppenwolf, and I'm gonna lean towards no. Not bad to have him for the mid game though, but when Wonder Woman comes calling, he's a problem. Superboy, yes please. Vixen, yeah, we like some Vixen. So those are the tunes in the Red Alerts calendar. Now, upgrade events. Oh boy. I still got a lot to go, man. And we're an hour in. I need this water. I said that I was going to be done with this in an hour. I don't know. Am I halfway through the information I have to give? Yeah. I think I'm about like 60% right now. Yeah, 75%. Okay. Oh. All right, you guys ready? All right, let's go. So, upgrade events. Upgrade events. So, this is where I spend my gems, is in the upgrade events. It's not to buy frags from the frag packs. Now, I get it. There are some good, not good deals. There aren't any good deals from those frag packs. Sorry. But in certain situations, I understand buying them. Like I bought a Spectre pack so I could take them RB1. Yes, please. I bought a Castaway Green Arrow pack about a year and a half ago to take him RB1. Yes, please. Those are the two that I can think of off the top of my head that I've done. I wanted to get a Wonder Girl pack, but I just could not bring myself to spend like 11,000 gems on that. All right, anyway, so plus she was already cracking skulls for me, so that extra bit was like, but I spend my gems mostly here so I can level up and gear up tunes. It's not very hard to like understand why. What I will say is this: one, never ever Speed Force purple essence. Number two, just so you have an idea, going from 0 to 100,000 purple is 4,200 gems. And now we're getting to the point where maybe I can have a little bit of fun because I'm about to take somebody RB1 on. I did last time. Last time I did Supergirl. Took Supergirl RB1 last time. Beast. So I went ahead and on Sunday, I think I only spent like 2,000 gems to go ahead and get myself up to 100,000 purple essence. Now, with all of the rings, and what I will say is this, I've come to find out that Node 4, in terms of just being efficient with getting level 2 and level 3 of those scarce gears, is the best for me. Please comment below if you find something better. I was always oscillating between doing 3 and 5 or doing just 4. And so far, just 4, like my last couple weeks, just 4 has been better for me. So you guys let me know if you have any kind of different experience, but that's that. So that's that on like when you're doing the gears. With the blue, with the blue ring, and I call it blue rings, this is the rings event, but with the blue rings, what I'll do is I will reset them and then do the last node. But if you want the best drop rate for the blue rings, then you also go to the 4th node. I do the last node because I also want some of the white lantern and black lantern rings. So that's a heads up. Now, here's how I'm about to have to evaluate this. I do not like taking tunes L5. I did take one tune L5 recently, and that was Robin. That was Nightwing, because I messed up on his legendary order and I needed to get that last legendary point. Let's see what this is. 5% damage. Not worth the 8 rings if you guys have ever watched any of my in-depth guides. So I did take him L5 just because I wanted that last ability. I can't wait to get the frag so I can take him RB1. Now, here's how I will evaluate it. Purple is a very, very, very scarce resource. So instead of thinking like directly, I'm gonna spend 100,000, which is a lot. It's a lot of purple essence and it takes a long time to get there. Another way to look at it is I'm also gonna be spending 4,000 gems. So when I go back to the ones that I have up to take RB1, Artemis, and you know what? I'll go ahead and build a team right now. Teams. Boom. Let's get rid of, oh, no. Let's get rid of you guys. All right, so here are the ones that I'm thinking about doing. Lex SS. I'm tempted to take him RB2. However, he's perfectly fine and incredibly effective at RB1, especially with what I'm doing, but he's there. Then you have, let's go ahead and go down this energy villain list. Then you have Zod. Now, here's the thing. I put Zod in there, and I think it's because I have the frags, but if I'm being honest, no. He's at the bottom of the barrel of the ones I'm going to choose. Chemo. Chemo is an awesome debuffer. He has been a nightmare for me to face early game in my free-to-play account. And Nightmare is a bit overstating it, but he is really damn good now. But he's just really good. He's not great. That is the problem. Then you have Mr. Freeze. I absolutely love Mr. Freeze. I love the buffs that he lays down. I love his ability to just basically speed lock a team. Do I use him as much as I would want to? Or do I use him very often? Not really. But I do love using him. And taking him RB1 might help me to use him more. Now, here's the other one. Zod's going to drop off because we know Zod's not going to win this. Now we go to Artemis. Where you at, lady? Artemis is one of the few special damage tunes. I could run her under Lex, get those int ups, and she could do some real damage. She gives herself crit chance up like she is an absolute beast. Stuns, hits twice on the A1. Now here's how part of what you have to do to evaluate it. Here's why I don't take anybody L5, and that is because I don't want to spend 100K on that last ability, especially for someone like, you know what, let's go into Chemo and let's see real quick. So Chemo, the last legendary point for Chemo is 60% chance to apply Doom to one random enemy if the enemy team has 6 or more debuffs. All those gates and all those conditions just makes me say no. I'm not going to spend 4,200 gems or 100,000 purple essence on that ability. No, thank you. He'll stay L4. Unless I take him RB1. Because then it's like if he either stays L4 or he goes RB1. I'm trying to look at these other things that I could be adding to him to make him better. I may need to reevaluate the ring situation with Chemo. So Chemo, no. But I'm also leaning towards not even taking him up at all, and that was kind of a toss in. I wanted to put him in at RB1 because I wanted to increase his agility. I wanted to increase his HP pool, so that way he would be a better taunter. However, I still wouldn't use him that much. I'd probably still use Parallax first. Lex is, I can't even remember which ability I took last for him. I already have him RB1, so purge 2 debuffs and apply 20% turn meter to all allies. Hooray! Wait a minute. I just realized that ability. I just realized that ability. And that's why I need to do, I gotta redo all this stuff. Not really redo it, but The reason for him would be more because of the rebirth situation. Rebirth, when you rebirth the tune, increases these stats: strength, agility, stamina, and intelligence by 10%. That's where you see the power level coming in. So if I rebirth him now, if I take him RB2, then I will increase the power level to 9,000, and then my intelligence, and like the things that I'm worried about, the intelligence will go up, which means he'll hit harder, heals will be higher. However, do I really want to take him RB2 when he's doing just fine at RB1? I'm leaning towards no. So now you have Mr. Freeze and you have Artemis. Now, Mr. Freeze's last ability is here. Apply 4 speed downs to a random enemy at the start of combat. So just one time at the start of combat to a random one. I can't even select it. Not worth 100,000 to me. So that's why I wouldn't take him L5. But given everything else in his kit, I'm considering taking him RB1. Artemis. It may be Artemis wins this competition. Funny enough, for Artemis and for Mr. Freeze, I spent 1,000 gems to get their alternate skins. I had to do it for Mr. Freeze because I'm an 80s baby, 90s dude. Grew up in Batman animated series time, so had to do it. Anyway, Artemis. Her last ability was Artemis gains 15% additional shield. So passive ability, every time that Artemis deals a critical damage, 90% chance, and I guess it'll be 100%, to gain 4 int ups and apply 15% shield to all allies. And then Artemis gains an additional, so that's 30% shield on her. That makes her harder to kill. I do like that. I do like that. And then if I add these rings, that's a 10% chance, so that's a 100% chance she'll do that. This right here, 5% damage. I'm not too worried about that. I will add the rings to this because I'm about to take Artemis RB1. So I'm about to drop 100,000 in purple essence into Artemis. So much purple essence. So now she's stronger. Let me go ahead and do. I did this with one of the tunes where I like took them RB1 or whatever, and I'd never assigned like two of the legendary crystals. And yeah, I didn't even notice until like months later. So now she is L5, and honestly, for that ability, I don't think I would have spent 100,000 purple essence on it, more so than all the other ones. I don't think I would have spent that much on it if it hadn't been for the fact that I was also going to take an RB1. So now we'll see that her intelligence is going to take a spike up. Hopefully the agility and the, not a lot of agility, and the stamina helps her with survivability. But here comes my RB1 Artemis. Whew, that's a lot of gems. Not a lot of, a lot of gems, a lot of purple essence, and we'll put her back in her other uniform, her other skin, and then come back out of here. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. All right, so that is how I would handle purple essence. Those are the upgrade events. I use those for the gears mostly. That's where I'm spending the mass majority of my gems is in the upgrade events. And side note, going from level 0 to 60 costs about 4,000 gems. Going from level 60 to 70 costs about 4,000 gems. Just so you know. All right, so now PvE events. Do we have the other one too? Okay, good. So you'll have these challenge events that are 6-day events. And in those events, what I did, especially in my free-to-play account, is that once I got to a certain level, the level that I could complete it at 3 stars, then for Arsenal, at least on my free-to-play account, I started putting gems in. I bought a bunch of energy packs, the 500 gem energy packs, and then started farming the hell of that last node that I was able to complete to 3-star until I got Arsenal, I think, up to L2. I did the same thing with Talia, and that's what I would recommend for these challenges. They reset every day, so do them every day, especially if you're early and mid-game. And then once you get to the end, if you have the gem and the resources and it's somebody that you want, then go ahead, buy those energy packs, and then just keep farming those nodes. If you want to do the quick math, let's say you reset that last node, and that last node I think is 40 energy. if I'm not mistaken, which means that if you, is it 40 energy? I think it is. Times 3 is going to be 120. So then you can do that, what, 2 times? So that's 6 times. And then each time you do it, I think you get something like, let's say 7. So 7 times 6, 36. Spending 500 gems on that. And actually, let me do that math. So that's going to be a little bit more than a 10 to 1 gem to frag ratio, basically. And as a matter of fact, let me do that math by myself real quick just to be sure that I'm telling you guys correctly, because I did that very haphazardly. So every time you clear that thing 1 time, it's going to be, it says between like 1 and 15, so I'm taking 7 because I ain't getting 15. So times 3. And if that event actually is 40 energy, which I believe it is, so then 40 times 3 is 120, which means that I'm going to then be able to do that event twice based on that pack of 250 energy that I bought. So that means that I'm going to end up with 42 frags. Now, if I take 500 and divide it by 42, so an 11.921 gem to frag ratio. So, good deal. Now, when you go to these events, the legendary events, not really much to say about it. Just get as far as you can. If you can't complete it, no big deal. But I think you'll be able to complete the normal one relatively easily, and the legendary one will be a bit of a problem if you're early game. But yeah, that's not too much for you to worry about. Now, the freebie event, here's the thing. You're going to want to put resources into the tunes from the freebie and from the siege event. The reason being is that they're going to be the bonus tunes for the following month, which means they're going to have plus 250% health for the next month's event, whichever next freebie event there is. Also tends to be with the challenge events. They end up being the bonus tunes throughout the month for several different events, which means that you're going to want to put some resources into them. Now be careful, check for it, be sure that it's a tune that ends up being good, and determine how many of those resources you want to put into them. But you're going to have to put some into them if you want to do any kind of decent progression the following month. So keep a heads up for that. Now, bonus tunes each month. Give resources in early game. Be careful, ear to the ground. Batman versus Lex in heroic campaign farming. What? I don't even know what that was about. I must have been really tired when I made that note because I don't even remember. Batman versus Lex. Well, put it this way, Lex. Then the resetting, legendary normal event, 1 time through. All right, Nightmare Campaign. Nightmare Campaign isn't on here anymore. But let me go ahead and tell you some of the tunes for the in-game players. If you can't, I am 2 months into my free-to-play account or whatever. I can't get past Wave 1 of Nightmare Campaign. I did it just to see what would happen. I was like, oh, maybe I can get past Node 1. No, I couldn't. Couldn't get past Wave 1. Didn't kill a single person in Wave 1. This is an in-game arena, and a lot of us in in-game are kind of just like stomping through Nightmare Campaign. I recorded all of my Nightmare Campaign, and I was going to do a video on it, but then I was like, Nightmare Campaign is going to be over already. I don't think these guys are going to be interested in it, so I didn't put it out. So, going into making teams again. Here are some of the tunes that are absolutely beastly in Nightmare Campaign. Spectre, duh. Permanent end ups. If you protect him in the beginning, like what I would do is have like an Aquaman, Lex, Donna Troy, Barda, and then basically just create this shield around Spectre for like 3 or 4 turns. Get him some awareness from Donna Troy. Get him some awareness for himself. Get him some stamina ups from Barda. Get him some overheal and some int ups from Lex. Also the speed ups coming from Lex. And then after about the 3rd turn, 4th turn, he's one-shotting everybody and wiping out entire waves with his AoE attack all the way through the last node of Nightmare Campaign. That's one, Spectre. Second best, in my opinion, because I know some people might disagree, is Jesse Quick. Why? Because Jesse Quick performs very similarly to Spectre. You protect her for a good 5 or 6 turns. And then once she has enough evasion ups, nothing can touch her, and every time something tries to touch her, she steals their buffs. So she would take, if you only have like a Jesse Quick that's L4, you don't even have a Spectre, Jesse Quick, if you can protect her long enough for her to get some evasion ups, she can do. Now, this is going to be a long battle, but she can do all of Nightmare Campaign. So that's just a quick. And I'm not giving everybody here. I'm only giving, like, I'm not gonna put Donna Troy, Barda, and Parallax are there for support. I'm telling you that right now. Donna Troy's ability to change buffs into awareness is priceless, plus the reduction of cooldowns on all allies' abilities, priceless. Barda is probably the best taunt. Barda, and I think Parallax as well. I haven't really had a chance to use Parallax that much in Nightmare Campaign, but I feel like as soon as I can take him RB1, he will be that dude. They're like the perfect protection for Nightmare Campaign. And then, of course, I had Lex at lead. So now I'm going to give you the other two that I was thinking of. Next on this list is going to be Gorilla Grodd. I don't necessarily use him that much. But from what I understand, and these are all tunes that have permanent buffs in one way, shape, or form, which means that as they keep fighting, they're just going to keep getting better and better and better. You have Jesse Quick with a permanent evasion up, and then you have Gorilla Grodd giving the team permanent speed ups. So he's speeding up your entire team. She's just making it less and less likely that you're going to hit her by the end of the match. So Gorilla Grodd definitely on that list. And I'm going to have to just do like a separate list, but we'll do this. Now, Superwoman is better for raids. She gives herself permanent empowered strength ups, and not even better, good for raids as well. Let's put it that way. But once she gets ramped up and she gets going, she can cause a lot of damage. She can cause a lot of damage. I'm going to remove her from this for right now. Actually, no, I'm going to remove Gorilla Grodd because I don't have the experience with Gorilla Grodd. And I'm going to go ahead and put in another guy, and that is Larfleeze. Larfleeze, once he gets ramped up, once allies or enemies start dying, once he starts giving himself permanent int ups, he starts cracking skulls with just the A1. He can take people out. And the A3, forget about it. So, but they're all tunes that they get permanent buffs. At the same time, if you want them to be your damage dealers, or like these are their only choices for them are to be damage dealers. They're not really going to support the team in any other way, not for real. You got to protect them for the first couple of rounds. Get them through the initial wave of violence that's about to come your way, and then once they get those permanent buffs on them, then they can take over. So that is Nightmare Campaign. Ooh, I think. Wait, what? Are we coming to the end here? Yo. Oh no, we're not coming to the end because I still got to do. Man, still got to do the heroic campaign. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to give you this screenshot. And I'm going to remove this stuff in the background. All right, so there you have these packs that I was complaining about before. And actually, the time I took this screenshot, a Ben Soares costume looks really cool right now. All right, so I have this question coming at me constantly about gem packs and whether it's worth it to buy this one, worth it to buy that one. Not like, put it like this, anything I'm seeing up here isn't worth it. Not Booster Gold, not Cersei, Cersei might be the one that's most worth it, but very mid game. She's lost a lot of flair lately. Ben Soares good, but the value that you get and those charts that I showed, to me, there isn't really a reason to purchase any of these packs outside of, because remember, it's fun, it's a game. Maybe Cersei's your favorite villain of all time. Buy her pack, who cares? There's gems, you're gonna get some more. This game is actually really good about giving you a crap ton of gems, except for them removing one of the gem blitzes. I really hope that's a mistake. But yeah, go for it if you love Heatwave for some reason. I don't know why. Dude, there are better villains out there. Love yourself more. Then go ahead and buy his packs. Or if it's somebody that you just really want, go for it. However, to me, if there's even a question about it, if you're saying like there's a Spectre and a Black Flash up the hell, I would recommend buying those. But if you're like sitting there like, oh, well, should I or shouldn't I would lean towards the no more than the yes. Now, if your question is, I'm going to get Black Flash or Spectre, which one should I get? Different discussion. Either one of them is fine. But if you're just trying to determine, oh, well, I have 8,000 gems, I'm going to spend it on, I don't know, I guess I'll spend it on a Ben Sword. No, don't. Just wait. Just wait. Hold on to the gems. I'm the impatient one. I'm the one that burns through my gems like a madman. You don't have to be like me. Be better than me, okay? Be better than me. Take care of yourself. So, these gem packs, not worth it to me. Not really. Yeah. Also, I took a picture of this specifically. Legendary Essence. They do the same thing with the blue rings where you have like 30 to 50 or something for like 4,000. Legendary Essence. I just explained to you that you can go from 0 to 100 with 4,200 gems. Now, you'll have to do it manually unless you're willing to spend that much Speed Force, which I wouldn't. But if you do, fine. For 1/10 of the amount of Purple Essence, you have to pay almost 2 times as much, 75% more. Right? Right? Don't buy those packs. Look at that. Look, don't buy those packs. If you're that impatient, it's Monday and you can't wait till Thursday, I got nothing for you. So, don't. Just don't. All right, so now we're going to go back over to the shop here. Man, I hope. So now, when you join an alliance, here is what you need to know. Mega Alliance Pack. The Mega Alliance Pack and the limited time offers. Never, ever use these alliance tokens, or however you want to call them, on the Mega Alliance, Big Alliance, or Mini Alliance packs. Always just wait to see, and let me check this right quick. Always just wait and see what's going to be over in the limited offers. You can go into the Mega Alliance pack and look and say, oh, okay, all right, cool. So I need some Green Arrow Emerald Knight frags. I need some Ravager and Clayface frags. And I'm looking for those Red Tornado frags. Okay, cool. So now I come back out here. I have Ocean Master and Siren. I'm not about to buy them. I'll wait for the reset and see what comes up next. Also here in the gyms, you saw me just do it. Check to see if it's one of the scarce gems, and if it is, or scarce gears, and if it is, get it. And then up here, you'll usually get PvP energy or PvE energy. Sometimes I get the Speed Force stuff if I'm running low, but not really. It's not really a good value. Then over here, when it comes to the Mega Arena packs versus the Big Arena packs and all that jazz, I have changed my thought process, and I'm back and forth on this. In the very beginning of the game, I was doing the Big Arena packs because it's a better value. You get, just to be on the safe side, you get 27 frags for 1,500 of the PvP tokens. Same token here. For 1,000 of it, you get 20. So I'm getting 7 extra frags based for 50 more of those arena tokens. It's a better deal, just outright. But then I'm getting 3 different tunes. And for you, if you're just starting out in the game and you're just, maybe I should change my methodology. If you're just starting out in the game, I can understand you being like, I just want as many different ones as I possibly can get. But then for my thought process, especially in the early game as well, is nope. When I get the frags, I want a lot of those frags so then I can develop that character immediately. So I can see both sides of the argument. I've been back and forth on it. Which one I think is better depends on what day it is, to be quite frank with you. So either way, I don't think it's a bad technique. So there is that. Now we're into the home stretch. Here we go. Now I'm going to go through Heroic Campaign. Heroic. Why did I say it like that? Heroic. Why am I pronouncing so many syllables? All right, so we're going to go through, and I'm going to give you like, I don't know. It's going to be, and I did this last time, and I did it haphazardly. I'm going to do it again here haphazardly. I'm going to just go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is, or should I just do? All right. Now, I'm going to do S tier, A tier, B tier, and then F tier. Now, these are all my personal thought processes for these tunes, okay? This is a general thought process that I'm doing off the cuff right now. I have not written this down. I'm literally writing this down as I go. And it's, when I say general, this is early, mid, and end game included, not just end game. Green Lantern Hal Jordan is awesome end game. Zatanna is not. So, starting off, Green Lantern Hal Jordan, he's clearly S tier. That's 1. The debuff immunity alone on the start of all turns. He's tanky, hard to take down. So, he's S tier. Zatanna, I stopped using her immediately. She's F tier. Batman, damn near stopped using him immediately. Early and mid game and end game considered, best of B tier. Yellow Lantern Sinestro, I can't really evaluate well because even though he's farmable, I've never leveled him up and I don't really see him. I'm gonna put him in F tier anyway. Wonder Woman POT, I'm gonna give her A tier. Like in game she would be B, but in the early game she's like damn near S, and she's A tier in mid game, so I'm gonna give her an A. Lex S. Already said Green Lantern S. Already said Batman, Green Lantern, Lex. Oh, okay. So I had already said all of those. Flash. I might give Flash A as well. In the end game, he's definitely B. On this chart, don't WRL broadcast. They have a whole different measure, and theirs actually is a lot more empirical than mine. They have multiple people making votes, and then they average it all out, which is a lot better than this one dude who's like trying to do this crap off the top of his head. So rely on theirs. Theirs is very in-game PvP oriented, just so you know, have a heads up. But they do it in a much more scientific way than what I'm doing right now. All right, so I'm giving Flash A because in the end game he's B at best. But then in the early game, ooh, I'll give him a B plus. Because, well, no. He's A in mid and in early game. So I will give him a low A, high B. Let's put it that way. Yellow Incident, nope. Lex. Green Arrowed Emerald Knight. I can't truly evaluate him on my own. I'm going to give him the same level that I gave Flash, basically, because I didn't level him up until recently, and he doesn't really keep up with in-game. Like, with Flash, I know how to use him in in-game, exactly how to pair him up and everything to make him work, and he can be awesome. With Green Arrow, Emerald Knight, I really don't know those things, but from what a lot of people have told me, he's good. So I'm giving that grade based on what I've been told. Anyone else here? Oh, no. When they redid these heroic nodes, what is with me saying heroic? When they did these heroic nodes, they really, I don't know. I seem to remember there being more. Star Sapphire S. Cause like early game she's S, mid game she's S/A, more towards S, and then end game she's A, if low A but A. So she's a beast. Lex, you already heard me. Flash, Zatanna, yo, they removed a lot. Because they used to have Grundy up in here. Bizarro. I think I'm going to give Bizarro a B. Because I think in-game he's a B. I think mid-game he could be a solid A in terms of being a taunter. And early game I think he'd be a solid A in terms of a taunter. So I'm leaning towards high B, low A. So let's just say high B. Cheetah, S. That's easy. Chemo, B. Right in that same area with Bizarro, except for the fact that I think he is literally, he's A early and then B mid and B end. So I'm going to put him like in the mid Bs. Green Arrow, nope. All of these other ones I've gone through. I took a deep breath like this was going to be some work, man. This has been okay so far. My heart. Guy Gardner, I'm going to give him an F. I don't see him around. I don't use him. I have his frags. I haven't leveled him up. I don't really use him. So if you guys have any better evaluation than me, let me know. But he's an F in my book right now. Bane. Bane is a B in game to me means that you can use him, but you're not going to. I can make him work in end game. But I love Bane. I'm heavily biased. Some people will probably call him F in the end game. Just keeping it 100. My B is full of bias, if I'm being real. Early and mid game, I give him more A. And like when I had him, I would give him an S for early and mid game. But a lot of people complain about like he's just not as reliable. My RNG loves him and hates Harley Quinn for some reason. I'm completely biased with this character. I'm gonna say B. For me, A. But if I'm trying to be objective, he's a B. Huntress, A, easy. On her, she is able to clean up the dinner plate. Basically, she does everybody's dishes. She clears plates. Whenever somebody's at 25% or below, she does big hit out of turn to wipe them out. So she's a beast. I absolutely love her. Let's go back up. Jessica Cruz. She's very good early and mid game, and you can make her work in the end game. I'm gonna give her low A, but A. Like, I'm gonna give her low A, but she's an A. All right, now going down the list, going on down the list. And then finally, Larfleeze. He can be a beast in Nightmare Campaign. PvP, he was a problem. He's not a problem anymore. You don't really see him out much. I'm gonna give him that low A, high B score. Cause really, you can make him do work in Nightmare Campaign, but I don't heavily pursue his frags, if I'm being honest. All right, and I think that's everybody. Wow, either they reduced the number of heroes in Heroic, or I'm just not seeing things clearly, because that went by fast. All right, so I think that's it. I think I'm done. 2.5 hours. Yo, 3 hours. So, I'm not even gonna promote anything else. I got other videos coming out. Boom, there you go. I got videos coming out. Drop videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you want me to check out your roster personally, send me the screenshots and all that stuff, buy me a coffee. Check out the link below. In there's a tier where you can buy me a coffee, and I'll literally take the screenshots of your team, put them up on a YouTube video. If you want me to, you can ask for private. You can ask for private advice as well. But if you want me to, do a whole YouTube video based on your team and the advice I would give for you to do next. So check that out. Buy me a coffee. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. I'm utterly exhausted. Thank you for watching all the way through, and I'll see you next time.